Welcome everyone. This is Zahid Bashir. I am a faculty member at Department of Commerce, University of Gujarat, and a PhD scholar in Delhi College of Commerce. In yesterday's session, I have discussed some basic things about what type of survey questionnaire we need to enter in SPSS. In my first day of this training session, I have discussed the basic environment and screen layout. Then I have discussed different menu bars of SPSS. Yesterday, I have discussed some basic overview of survey questionnaire and its type. And today we will discuss how a code book is created and how to enter SPSS data. Contents will be covered uh, as per day by day schedule. So yesterday I have discussed what is a questionnaire, what are the components of a questionnaire, how to administer a questionnaire, and what is the difference between open-ended, close-ended, adapted, and adapted questionnaire. So let's have a quick recap that a questionnaire is basically a structured set of questions designed to gather specific information from respondent. So whenever we need to have some responses from our respondent, our target respondent for the purpose of data collection, we need to structure some set of questions for that purpose. That is basically our survey questionnaire. It is used in market research, social sciences, psychology, and business relevant domains, and some other domains also. In fact, it is also used in medical domain for the collection of quantitative as well as qualitative data. So we need to have some sort of information in what conditions we can use quantitative data collection and in what conditions we need to use qualitative data collection. So components of a survey questionnaire includes introduction, demographic section, main survey question, and closing section. In introduction section, we need to provide the information relevant to the purpose of the survey, why we are conducting this survey, so that the respondent may be aware about the survey and he may provide the responses accordingly. We need to assure the respondent about the anonymity and confidentiality regarding the information of the personal information of the respondent. And we need to provide some instructions that whatever are the compulsory part of these questionnaire to be filled with. Then demographic section includes the age, gender, education level, occupation, income, etc., relevant to the respondent itself. Then the main survey questions, these includes the questions relevant to the main questions or the main theme of the questionnaire. It may be a close-ended part or maybe open-ended part. In case of close-ended part, we may have to provide some predefined options like some Likert skills or multiple choice question. And in case of open-ended survey questionnaire, the respondent can freely express their thoughts without any limit, without any limits of the words, without any limits of the answers. So, open-ended questionnaire is basically used in qualitative research, while the close-ended questionnaire is basically used in quantitative research. In our case, we are basically focusing on close-ended questionnaire. Now, the closing section is basically indicates a thank you or gratitude towards the respondent because he or she has spare his or her time to respond your questionnaire in their busy schedule. So it is a part which basically say a thank you message to the respondent for the time, for the information they have provided. Next, I have discussed that how we can administer the questionnaire. We can collect survey data through online surveys. We can conduct it's through paper-based surveys like our traditional method of collecting data. We can also have data collection for the survey using telephone interviews. We can conduct it using face-to-face interviews or mail questionnaire. In case of interviews like telephone interview or face-to-face interview, or nowadays we can also conduct Zoom meetings to conduct some interviews. That would be a part of qualitative data collection. In our case, we can conduct, in case of quantitative data, we can conduct online surveys as well as paper-based surveys. So the design and the format of questionnaire should be carefully crafted. So whenever you need to design a questionnaire, you need to understand that it should be clear, it should be unbiased, and it should be capable of eliciting accurate responses from the target audience. So it should be clear that the respondent can easily understand it. If the respondent is not educated enough to understand the English, you should translate it, the questionnaire into Urdu, so that they can easily understand what are the questions and how to respond them. Then you always need to have some pre-testing for the questionnaire on a small group of respondent. It means that whenever you need to collect data, you need to test some of the questionnaire on some of the respondent first, and take their feedback regarding the statements, regarding the options provided, whether whether those statements are clear to them, to answer more accurately. If they say yes, these statements are clear, they are easy to understand, and we can easily grasp the basic theme of the questionnaire. So you can proceed that questionnaire with the larger part of your target population. But if some of the questions seems to be confusing or unclear as a response from the respondent, you need to change those questions or the statements accordingly and then apply on the larger part. So these are some basic considerations regarding the questionnaire. Then I discuss the difference between open-ended survey questionnaire and close-ended survey questionnaire. Open-ended survey questionnaire is basically used in qualitative data collection. So whenever you need to collect qualitative data, you need to use open-ended survey questionnaire, because in that case, the respondent are free to provide their own answers without the limit of the words, without any constraint. They can provide as many lengthy answer as they want. So the phrases like "What do you think about?" or "Please describe your experience with," so they can freely answer whatever they would like to answer. So this is basically a subjective opinion or the subjective view of the respondent. So in case of open-ended survey questionnaire, you are going to collect qualitative data. Then there is a close-ended survey questionnaire, which we are going to use in our SPSS data analysis. In case of close-ended questionnaire, the respondent have multiple choice questions, Likert scale items, rating scale items, yes or no questions, and it is used in quantitative data collection. It means that the respondent need to answer some predefined responses. He cannot provide more answers or the lengthy answers on his own. He need to answer within the limit provided, within the options provided to him or her. So that is close-ended survey questionnaire. So that is basically the questionnaire that we are going to use in SPSS analysis. What we summarize using open-ended and close-ended question, we summarize that open-ended survey questionnaire allow a free-form responses and qualitative data collection. So open-ended survey questionnaire is used in uh, uh, qualitative data collection, while close-ended survey questionnaire is used in quantitative data collections, and they provide predefined responses. So that is the summary of this. Then we need to understand the difference between adopted and adapted questionnaire. In case of adopted questionnaire, you are basically going to use a survey instrument or a questionnaire which is developed by someone else. It means you are not going to change a significant part of that questionnaire. You may have some minor modifications of some of the statements, but you are not going to change the significant part of that questionnaire. So that is basically adapted questionnaire. The second category of questionnaire is adapted questionnaire. The basic difference is between A after D. In previous case, we have O after D. So in case of adapted questionnaire, you are going to use a questionnaire which is developed by someone else with significant modification. It means that major part of that questionnaire you are going to change as per the requirement of your study. So that is adapted questionnaire. So both of these categories, adopted questionnaire or adapted questionnaire, are used in quantitative survey. That is our part for doing SPSS analysis. In summary, we have discussed that adapted questionnaire refers to an existing questionnaire without significant modification, while adapted questionnaire refers to customizing an existing questionnaire to better fit the needs of a specific research study. So today we are going to discuss what is code book, how it is created, and how to enter data in SPSS. So a code book is basically a manual that provides the detailed information about the variable in a data set and the codes assigned to different categories or responses within those variables. So we need to understand how the data is coded, how different statements or different attributes in your questionnaires are coded when you are going to use data entry in your SPSS. So you need to provide codes for variable names, variable labels. You need to provide definition and level of measurement in code books. So let's have a quick overview that how our code books look like and how the questionnaire is basically look like. Here is an example. I will share you. This is a simple quantitative close-ended questionnaire, because you can see there are some options, a predefined options. The respondent cannot change. The respondent need to answer these provided responses. That is why these are called the close-ended questionnaire. You can see the demographic information which is required from the respondent. You have a multiple options here, but these are the predefined options. The respondent cannot change them. The respondent cannot add anything from his own will here. So he need to provide the responses from these options that is provided to the respondent. So this is the demographic detail, and you can see here these are the questions which are basically asked, which shows the purpose of the study. And here the rating scale is provided, the 5-point Likert scale is provided in order to record the responses, but they have not indicated how male is identified, how female is identified. So we need to have a code book. So a code book is provided here. You can see here the code book. Like for gender, they have provided 1 for male and 2 for female. So this is the coding scheme. How age is measured? Age is measured in years. You can even provide the categories that indicate the different age, like 18 to 25 is indicated by 1, 26 to 30 is indicated by 2, 31 to 40 is indicated by 3, 41 to 50 is indicated by 4. So you can also provide different categories of age, but you need to provide the coding scheme in codebook. Then he has provided different codes for the marital status. Also, he has provided codes if the respondent has the children. For yes, they have provided one. For no, they have provided two. Highest level of education, they have provided different codes. So why code book is created? Code book is created basically to provide the coding of different variables, because the software understand the numbers. The numbers are basically required when we need to analyze the data. The software does not understand what is the purpose of adding male or female. The software does not analyze male or female. They analyze basically the number. So we need to identify what we mean by male and what we mean by female in some numerical terms. So we need to create a code book. So they have created code books, different codes for different, you can say, questions. They have also created Likert scale for their question statement, like one for strongly disagree and five for strongly agree, that we have seen here, like this. They have already created this code book within a specific, you can say, uh, theme. So this is how a code book is created. I would like to show you some other examples also. In addition to this, you can see here, for example, first example for understanding. This is a questionnaire. You can see in your screen. Now, I have told you that a questionnaire has four parts. Like I would like to show you here. A questionnaire has four parts actually. The first part is the introduction part, where the information is provided regarding the purpose of the survey, and it includes the assurance of anonymity and confidentiality and instruction for completing the questionnaire. So you can see here an introduction part. This is a survey questionnaire from a study that I have conducted 3 to 4 years ago. And the first part you can see here is the introduction part. I need to increase it. You can see it is stated that an independent research is going to be held in Department of Commerce, University of Gujarat, in order to find out the relationship between financial knowledge and investment behavior of residing and working doing business in different areas of Punjab, Pakistan. Now, what this indicates? This indicates the overview of this questionnaire and the purpose of why I am going to collect the data. So first thing I have mentioned here is basically the information and purpose of the survey. So I have included here the information and the purpose of the survey. Then the researcher would like to start the primary data collection by asking some questions so that he may put the main part of this exploratory data into context for analysis purpose. I have also indicated for the purpose of the study in more extensive form, then your cooperation in this regard will be highly appreciated, and the responses collected from you will be used purely for research purpose and will never disclose to the third party. Now, this statement is basically created for creating a confidentiality and anonymity. So because the respondent are basically very careful about whether their data would be shared with third party or not. So this is a matter of ethics also, ethics and data collection. So you need to mention that the responses provided by the researcher, the responses provided by the respondent will not be shared with any third party. It will not be disclosed by any third party. So this is what you need to highlight in the introduction part of your responses. So if you have any special instruction while for the responding of this data, you need to provide it further. The next part is basically the demographic section. That would include the personal detail relevant to the demographics of the respondent. So you can see here, I have created a separate section for demographic, like I asked their name. Although it is optional, it is not a compulsory question because in SPSS data entry, we do not have anything with the name. We cannot do anything with the name. The only thing that we can do is the age, because the age might be in years. We can provide some coding scheme for that. The gender, the qualification, it matters a lot. The occupation, we have different options for that. Maybe occupation, location, then residential status. We may code them. Then it is a most important question regarding the family income. Some of them may be reluctant to answer that question, but we may ask them. So this is basically the demographic part that we uh, basically require as a second part, as a second most important part of the questionnaire. The third part is basically the main survey questions that would ask why what are the real questions that we are going to ask for our study for the purpose of data collection. So I would like to show you the real questions that I was basically interested. If you see the basic purpose of my study, I want to find out the relationship between financial knowledge and investment behavior of the individual. So that means that the questions that I am going to ask is related to financial knowledge and investment behavior. So you can see the type of questions here, these different statements relevant to these topics: financial knowledge, and you can see here the investment behavior. So these are the statements which are adapted. I basically change the statement according to the requirement of my study. That's why I have used the word adapted, ADA PTED, adapted. So this questionnaire was adapted. I have used different statements from different studies. So I have already coded them here. You can see the codes and you can see the numbers here. SD stand for strongly disagree, D stand for disagree, N stand for neutral, neither agree nor disagree, A stand for agree, SA stand for strongly disagree. So this is how you can create uh, uh, a questionnaire, and this is how you need to understand also how to create its code book. So I have also created the code book to facilitate the data entry. Like I have coded male female with 1 and 0, one for me male and 0 for female. And always remember, it doesn't matter whether you allocate 0 for male or 0 for female. It is just an identification number. It doesn't have any impact. So in the same way, I have categorized the age as per my own with different numbers, like below 18 years, I have coded with 1, 18 to 23 years, I have coded with 2. And in the same way, marital status, qualification, occupation, I have different codes for different categories. So this is how you create a code book. So let's have a quick data entry. I would like to share with you. Uh, I would like to share with you example data entry. For example, the second example I would like to share with you. I think uh, I have, yes. We should use this uh, as a code book. I would like to share in the chat box. Just a minute. Let me enter it here. I am sharing two files with you in the chat box. Uh, please please check your meeting chat. I have shared two files. One is the survey codebook and second is the survey codebook data. Please let me know, did you find it, Miss Hina and Miss Rabia, in the chat box?
Yes, sir.
All right, download both of the files and we are going to use it in our initial data entry. And let's start the SPSS. Yesterday, I have let you know the procedure how to install the SPSS. And today we are going to start our first part for entering data. Miss Hina, have you installed the SPSS? Do you have the SPSS in your system? Please
Yes,
indicate.
sir, I have already.
All right, all right. So let's download the file, the code book first that I have shared with you, the survey code book actually, this file. So I will let you know how to basically enter uh, the initial part, the initial data. All right. Let's suppose this is basically the questionnaire that we are going to use uh, on our SPSS, and I have given a brief overview of this screen in my first day lecture, in my first day session. First, you need to enter the variable name or attribute. So our first variable name is sex, or we can use gender instead. Gender. This is our first attribute in our questionnaire. It automatically select the type of that variable, so you don't need to worry about the type of that variable. Here you can write the name of that variable like gender respondent. So label basically indicate what does this variable means. So gender means the gender of the respondent. Next is the basically one of the most important thing, that is the value label. After label we have some value label. So value label is basically used when you need to code your data. So in that case you need to see what coded what codes you have provided for that purpose, like one for male and two for female. So you need to enter that in your SPSS. Value 1 means male and you need to click add. Then value 2 means female. You can also indicate these data with 0 and 1, but you can use any number. So this is more convenient to use these codes. Then click OK. It is created. There is nothing you need to do with missing or columns or alignment. Yes, you need to see the mayors. Always remember that there is a topic which is known as level of measurement. Whenever your data is basically you are going to use for identification purpose, then you need to use nominal as a measure. But if your data shows some rank, like first, second, third, as a rank, like you are giving a data based on GPA, highest GPA, lowest GPA, then you are going to use ordinal scale when the data is ranked. But if the data is in ratio form, you need to use scale variable. So in our case, we have used 0 and 1 for identification purpose. That's why we are going to use nominal as a scale. Our next uh, variable is age. So we can put it here, age. If you are not using any category, you don't need to do anything here. If you are not using the categories, I need to write here age of respondent. That is the definition. If you are not going to use any category, then you don't need to do anything further. You just need to select scale. for the numbers that are provided. But if you are categorizing the age, like age 1 with less than 15 years, then age 2 with 19, 25 years, age 3, 26 to 35 years, age 4, like 36 to 50 years, and age 5 is basically 50. So if you have categorization, you can see that one is the lowest number and fifth is the highest number. It means that those people who have age more than 50 years is indicated by 5. So in this case, it is showing a ranking. So whenever you are going to use rank, you need to choose ordinal. So this is how you can categorize the data. Next is basically the next variable, which is marital status. Like you need to enter here marital status. In our case, whenever we need to do research, we need to provide one for unmarried, two for married, three for divorce or separate. Click OK. And you need to use nominal scale for this because these numbers are identification. They are not showing ranking. 3 doesn't mean that a divorced person is highly ranked. It doesn't mean the ranking. So it is identification. In the same way, you can use others too, like children. If we are going to use children, it means if the children, if they have children, they would write yes, and for yes we indicate 1, and for no we indicate 0. That is how we can create the initial draft. So there is a less than 1 minute. So what you need to do is I will provide some example data set and example coding schemes. I will send you through your WhatsApp number whenever I was contacted. So you need to create a code book for these questionnaire as a first task. And second thing, I would like to let you know that the next meeting for SPSS will be held on Monday. There will be session off for Saturday and Sunday. So if you have any question, you may ask because time is going to finish now. If you have any question, Miss Hina or Rabia.